Hello and welcome to Barre. This is a mixture of ballet, Pilates and other fitness elements, and it's going to work best today if you are in socks or in bare feet. And for today's extra props, we will be using the stretchy band. We're going to get onto a few squats with a stretchy band. It's going to loop around the legs just above the knees, so if you've got a loop one, that works just as well. Don't worry if you don't have one, you can still do them without. It's just for an added bit of resistance if you have. And then the other prop you will need is two small hand weights. Low level, it's more for an abs exercise, so they don't need to be heavy at all. It's just a little bit of extra weight, just to help, again, resistance, adding more engagement through the core. So just two small objects of equal weight will do just fine. Tins from your kitchen cupboard. We are going to make a start today away from our bar, so whatever you're using as a bar, a chair, mantelpiece, edge of the table, just a wall will work as well. But just step yourself away to start with, and we will warm up in the centre. So here we go. We're going to place the feet just underneath the sit bones. We're going to take some shoulder rolls back, breathing nice and deeply as we go. So little spongy knees, quite quick with those shoulders today, rolling it back. We're going to take them back the other way, roll it up and over forwards. Quick movement, slow breath. We're going to turn that into one shoulder and then the other. Still nice little bend of the knees, you can get a little bit of movement through the body as you go. It doesn't need to be too stiff in the centre. Take it forwards again, up and over. So really squeezing that shoulder round. Maybe a bit of rotation through the spine. Take it back again. But trying to keep the hips to the front. Let's add a foot. So we're taking a little pad through the foot as we roll it back. Roll it forward, still padding through the feet. A little bit swooshy through the body. We're going to take that into more of a side-to-side step and more of an elbow pulling up and over. And forwards. This is a bit like a lazy breaststroke. Breaststroke, front crawl. I know how to swim. We're gonna, if we've got space, take that into an arm. Don't worry if you haven't, just make it a little bit more bent in, but opening up through the chest. And then again, closing it inwards. Lazy front crawl. A little bit of a lean. We're gonna change that up into a swipe up and over. Reach it up, swipe it up, let it fold down. Same thing, but coming across the body. Swipe and fold, swipe and fold. Let's turn that just into a little march on the spot. Take a nod of the chin, take it back up, lifting through the chin, lengthening the spine, taking it down. Keeping that going, looking down, nice and sharp through the feet, taking it up. Bringing it back. We'll span across side to side. Just staying nice and lifted through the spine. Let's pause the feet. Let's drop the head down and roll it halfway across. Take it halfway back. One more either way. Really nice and stacked through the top of the body. Just allowing the head, the neck to get a bit of movement. Let's bend the knees and reach the arms for the sky. Take a little roll down, but make it nice and gentle. Bend the knees, have a little hangover, maybe a little wiggle around here. We're going to take this into our plies exercise today. Gently unroll yourself, come up to standing. Take yourself to your bar. It's going to be the plies in second position today. So I'm going to be taking my feet out into a second position, so just outside of hip distance apart. Every time I bend my knees in that position, I want my knee to track over the centre of my foot. I want the pelvis to drop straight down in the middle. It does not need to be too low. It's a demi-plie. You want to keep both heels down on the floor. So we're going to have a series of those. We're going to have some movements that rise up. We're going to have some movements that bend the knees on that rise position. So take it as you will. If you need to drop the heels down again, absolutely fine. Stepping up to your bar, two hands on. We're going to start with some swivels through the feet. So we're going to swivel on the balls of the feet. just shifting the heels, bringing them back in. Thinking about the turnout coming from the top of the leg. Rotating, glutes, inside thighs, wrapping around. We're going to leave that in the centre, take some plies. We're going to go down for 2 and up for 2. Opening out through the knees. And it's nice and slow and spongy. You've got 3 more. Trying to stack up through the spine, lifting overhead. We're going to turn that into some rises. Up you go, down you go. Again, nice and smooth and slow. 8 of these. And they're only going as high as you feel comfortable to go. So if it's a lower rise, that's fine. We're going to be staying up there at the end of the next one. Rising up and holding there. You've got some plies. And so if you need to drop the heels down, absolutely fine. Just turn it back into a normal plie. It'll still work for the next version as well. So go with what you need for today. The next one's going to be down for 3. It's down, 2, 3, press away. So you can have the heels down for this, that's fine. But try and stay stacked in the spine, she says, falling over. And up, thinking about sit bones drawing together as you come up. Little lift through the pelvic floor. We're going to go down, up for 3, down, up for 3. If you need a little break for the ankles, absolutely fine. But if you can, you've got 2 more on the end of this one. That one's harder to coordinate. Haha, we're going to come down. It's heels, up and down. Just drop them down, trying to stay at the same height through the body. Let's take those a little quicker, up and down. Just keeping that depth through the spine, planting down through the balls of the feet. Let's alternate. Don't worry, it's your last set, you're nearly there. Wide breath into the backs of the ribs. Let's take that a little faster to finish off. Trying not to wiggle too much, but if it happens, I'll take it, a little wiggle. We're going to press the heels down, lengthening up through the legs. Take a big circle, reach around through the arms. Just enjoy the sensation of 2 long legs, press the air down. Shake it off. We're going to take another exercise that could be face on to your bar. It's going to be for our hip rotation. I'm going to turn it just slightly to the side, so it's going to be easier for you to see and follow along with. But you can stay face on to your bar. So we're going to take a first position, smiley toes, as the ballet teachers always say, evenly rotated from the hip socket. We're going to rotate one leg in and out. And I've said one leg, but I mean, if you are side on, it's the leg that's furthest from the bar. If you are face on, either leg will do. So you're just rotating in and out, trying not to drop into the other hip. 2 level hip bones. We're going to take that into more of a swiping action. So swiping it across. Chance to slow down the breathing, really breathing into the backs of the lungs. Keep that leg going. We're going to add in a plie. So it's going to come bend for 2 and open for 2. And as we plie, knees coming towards each other, stretching up, knee comes away. Still just swiping that foot across the floor. Try not to make it too much in the hips. It's just in that one leg. That's going to become a reach away. In and reach away. So long on both sides of the body. Particularly that supporting side. Try not to sink into it. Really reaching upwards. We're going to leave it out there. Let's take some tonjus in and out. So feeling the underside of the foot brushing along the floor. I've added in a nice arm circle just to distract me. You might want to do the same. Round it goes like a ballet quarter bar. We're going to leave the foot out there. We're going to take the same circle with the arm and the upper body. Curving over to the side. Little lift through the chest only. And around to the front. Take it side. Little lift through the chest. Try not to sink into the lower back. Side bend. And around and up. And we're going to do that whole thing with the other leg. If you are face on, stay as you are. If you are side on, switch yourself around. So we've got the other side ready. I'm going to place my hand onto the hip just for the first few exercises. It's a little easier. So lengthening up through the thighs. Outside leg goes in, goes out. Just gently turning on the floor, trying to keep 2 hip bones facing directly to the front. Think of that little lift underneath the supporting sit bone. We're going to take a little swipe as it goes. So nothing else has changed through the body. We're thinking about our TVA muscle, our gentle wrapping of corset around the waist, and out, and in, and out, and add a plie, plie, and open. So keeping that same little bit of movement available through the leg, but just bending through the knees. And that bend just comes straight down the center. That's going to come all the way out to an extended leg, all the way out. So I am still just swiping my toes, my pointed foot along the floor. That's as we get into the next one, that we start to use a little bit more of the underside of the foot. It's going to come out into our tondus, tondu and away, tondu and away. So feeling more of the underside of your foot brushing the floor. We're going to take the arm back the other way, it comes up and over. Nice and lengthened through the body. We're going to leave the foot out there for the next one. We're just going to take a little roll of the spine. Curve forwards, curve over to your bar, curve it up over. Take it away, take it forwards, take it round. Lifting on that supporting leg, no sinking into the lower back. And away and close, release. Step yourself away from your bar. Let's just take a couple more shoulder rolls. We're going to be picking up the weights next. As I said, it's not really an arm exercise, this one, next one. It's more of a core exercise. We're just adding resistance by using the weights, so small hand weights will do it. But at the same time, we are still holding weights with our hands in our arms. So it's good to have nice stabilized shoulders as we do it. Couple of circles back the other way. And then you are going to go and grab your hand weights. Shake it off. Here we go. Into this. 2 small hand weights. We're going to take a second position through the legs. So that's back to where we were when we did our plies. I've slightly widened mine out because we're going to be taking the lunge side to side. So just find that for yourself first of all. Check in, make sure that's comfy, that's in a nice supported position. Every time you lunge, knee over toe. And we're getting a little bounce across. It doesn't have to be too stuck in the middle, but it doesn't come all the way up and over. Just a little shift. At the same time, 2 small hand weights. We're going to be reaching them out to the sides of the room, so I apologise if my arms go off the screen. Here we go. In 5, 6, 7, 8, and off you go to shift. We've got 8 of these side to side. Then we're going to bring our arms in front of us. We're going to rotate the palms. Keep shifting, keeping strong through the core. We're going to add a rotation through the body. Pull the elbow back. Rotate through the spine. Pelvis forwards, chest turning, back to 2 arms forward. Couple more of these and then the arms are going to come out to the side again. Rotate the palms and lead in out. Nice and wide and strong. We're going to be changing our position. Come back to an unsided lunge. Rotate one parallel leg. We're going to go into a bit of a side bend. So we've got side bend slow and side bend up. Another one nice and slow. Let's take some faster. Down for 2 and up for 2. So we start to feel it in the side of the body. You've got 4 more. Now really think about length on both sides of the spine. We're going to come down again. Nice and slow. We're going to think of just opening. So brace this arm, open the chest, and coming back. Open the chest. 2 more nice and slow. So it's just a little opening, reaching up towards the ceiling. That's all done. We're going to switch over to the other side. So 1 parallel leg, we turn to the side, we open up and lean it over. Let's take that a little faster. Down for 2 and up for 2. You've got 8 of those. Now really think about lengthening on both sides, not collapsing into that side of the body. Last one. You're going to hold it there, brace that bottom arm, open the chest slightly, bring it back. Don't drop that weight behind you, just open up and open up towards it and back. One more time. And take it down. Come back into the center. A little shoulder roll. We're going to be bringing the arms up in front of us. Take a plie. We've got some contractions in the front, so it's just a little contraction through the top of the body, curving over. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Keep it going. You've got 8. Don't worry, the music will come back in. We're going to go to a diagonal. 2, 3, 4. Think of it like an ab crunch. 6, 7. Back to center. 1, 2, 3. I promise it's coming. 5, 6, 7. Other corner. Round you go. Keep breathing through. Breathing abs, not arms. Back to the middle. 8 in the center. Try and get that plie a little deeper. Try and keep the pelvis as still as you can. You've got alternating. 8, 7, 6. Woo! Then we get a little rest. Bring the arms down. Roll the shoulders. We're going to be taking them back out to the sides. We're going to be taking out the plie again. We're going to be taking some pull in from the side. Here we go. In, 2, 3, 8 of these. That's when we come a little pulse out, like a fly. Don't take it behind you. Just think pulsing to shoulder distance and back. Let's go for 8 more. We're going to bring the arms back around in front of us. We're going to rotate the palms, slow it down, and watch. Slow. Try and get a little deeper on that plie. Thinking again, core exercise. So you know it's the arms moving, but it's the core stabilizing you. You've only got 2 more sets. One arm is going to reach across and in. Pull it in, like you're pulling open a door, but quite frantically. So it's still a core exercise. I keep saying that, but it is. Keep pulling in with the core. Last set, it comes diagonal. Pull in. Keep low. If anything, get lower. Last 4. It's 4. It's 3. I promise. Last one. You can release your legs. You can release your weights. You can reach up for the sky. You can lace the fingers and push the ceiling away. Lifting through the shoulders. Squeeze your ears with your shoulders. Give that a nice sense of length and release. And then take it the other way. Lengthen the neck. Shoulders pulling down for a second. Maybe a little stretch either side. And then finding that happy middle ground. Neither pulling down or pressing up. Somewhere in the centre. Nice and tall. Step through the spine. And we're going to move on to our band. Removing your 2-hand weights. Popping them away. Shifting it on. Here we go. Band is going to come around the thighs. Time for a little bit of squat action. We've done a lot in a rotated position there. Coming into a parallel. So I'm just going to tie this into a little knot. Get rid of the tail end there. There we go. So I've just made a little loop with my legs completely together so that when I stand in my squat position, my feet in parallel underneath the sit bones, that it's actually some resistance already. So I'm having to use my outside thighs to press that band apart. We are going to take whatever arm design you like, anywhere they want to be. I tend to put mine in a little prayer position in front, just so that they're close to the torso and I know where they are. We're just going to take some squats down and up first of all. So thinking, body and shins coming into that same line. I always have to check that I'm actually achieving that. So sit bones gently separate on the way down, close together on the way up. That's a little image for you there. You can think of the pelvic floor as well, gently lifting in between. We're going to stay up on the next one. Place the hands on the head, just rotate the spine and come back to the centre. Other way, rotate and bring it back. Same thing again to either side. So I'm keeping the pelvis to the centre, to the front, and I'm just turning through the torso. So I'm thinking about breastbone rotating And my elbows are just being taken along for the ride. Don't try and give any more with your elbows. One more either side. Gently wrap the glutes around underneath. Last one. We're going to come back down into our squat. We're going to come down and we're going to pulse it out. Little pulses outwards. We're going to go 7, it's up and it's down. It's out. It's 4, it's 5, it's 6 and that's a 7. Take it up, we'll go again. So just staying in that lovely squat position, gently pressing out into the sides of the band. Last one, and so we lengthen, so we squat, open. Last set of this. We're going to come back up to standing again, 2 hands on the head, rotate the spine, reach and curve it over, undo that curve, come back to the middle, other way, rotate, curving through the top of the spine. It's a modified saw exercise. Back to the centre. Let's go one more either side. Rotate, front arm, the arm that's nearest to the camera if you're facing the camera. Bring it back, if not just take the arm that's crossing over. And it's reaching in line with the shoulder socket as you curve up and over like a walking stick. And back we come. We've got squat it down. Squat walks, taking it to the side. Go as far as you have space to go, but try and go an even number to either side. Says me, that's not achieved that at all. Sort of now. Try and get a little lower. Squats used to be my absolute nightmare of an exercise. They do get better, but you have to keep doing them, which is never what anyone wants to hear. It gets better if you do it lots and lots. But it does. They do get easier. Woo! Or at least the workload transfers into the right parts of the body. Oh, saved by the music. Reach it up. Lengthen that spine out again. You can remove that band from around the legs. We're going to come down into the floor. We're going to take some core exercises again, but in a supine position. If you want to use a mat, this is a great time to use it. If not, it's absolutely fine as you are. Coming down. Have a little lay down into the floor. We're going to be working towards a rollover today. There's several steps, so you don't have to go all the way to the version with the feet touching overhead. We're going to do the steps that build up to it first of all. So we're going to start from our imprinting spine. So as I'm laying here, nice and neutral, chilled out into the floor, legs in parallel, feet in line with the sit bones. I think about the muscles between my ribs and my hips that wrap around the obliques, and I gently contract them as I exhale. And so it tilts the pelvis slightly, slides the rib cage downwards, and then we inhale and we come back into our neutral TVA, just wrapping around the waist. So you've got little mini contraction between ribs and hips, lower back drops towards the floor, coming back again. Let's go for 2 more. It's very small, it's just a preparatory movement, so don't feel it needs to be a crunch. Yeah? It's just a little tiny movement because you're going to add things onto it, so you should be able to just chat freely while you're doing it. You should be able to hold it, I'm not going to say indefinitely, but for a long time. We're going to add in our tabletop legs. So with that in place, now we add 1 leg, 2 legs coming up into a tabletop position. They're just freely in there. Nothing else has changed. I'll put them back down again and I'll come back into neutral. We'll do that again. Still nice and free and easy. You can hear in the voice, not really that much extra workload yet. Again, just preparing for what's going to come next. Little floats. We're trying to alternate legs each time. Which one leads up and down. This time we're going to take it out, we're going to leave them up there. We're going to cross one end hip over the other and open out through the knees. This is where it starts getting a little more challenging. And then release the hands down into the floor. Try and keep the collarbones and shoulders wide. When you think of your pubic bone scooping up and over towards your breastbone, don't worry, it won't go that far. A little scoop and bring it down. Now this is a little harder. There you have to recruit a little bit more breath. And you'll notice I don't speak at the top of the contraction. Now it can be in time with the music or it can be in your own time. Try switching the ankles. Trying it with the other one on top. What we don't want is to fold the legs. You can hear it's really easy to talk for that because I'm doing no muscular work. So you want to think of your knees coming up and over. I always say you've got a hedgehog on your tummy. You're trying to lift up and over your hedgehog. You're hearing my voice. Where it gets harder. Try not to let the upper body curve. Try and keep that nice and open. That's step 1. If you are ready for more, we're going to take both legs up to the ceiling. We're going to sort of shift around a little bit. So I'm still on the screen. Now you can stick with step 1 and do another set of that if you like. Otherwise, we're going to be lengthening 2 legs up to the sky. We've got our imprint position already in play. We're going to exhale the legs down to a diagonal. And we're going to inhale them back up to the sky. Exhale down to that diagonal. And inhale back up to the ceiling. So that's step 2. You want to make sure that you don't lose your imprinted spine as the legs are moving. And again, go with your own breathing pattern. Exhale to reach away. Inhale to come up. It does not have to go all the way to the floor because it's, again, preparing for the next bit of the exercise where your legs are going to start on that diagonal anyway. Reach away, glutes wrapping, inside thigh squeezing, coming up. Release the legs, release the feet. That might be enough for you today, and if you want to do those 2 exercises again, that's brilliant. If you are more confident with the intermediate rollover from the Pilates repertoire, if you are comfortable with that, this is an intermediate exercise that I'm showing next. Just be aware of whether it's right for your body. It involves the feet going over the head. For that reason, I'm going to show you one first. Please don't do it and try and look, because it's a lot of strain for the neck. So just have a look, check in with me what it is, and if you are confident, give it a go. So I need enough space behind my head. So the feet are going to come overhead there. So I'm going to find my imprint, my tabletop, and I'm going to take 2 legs to the sky. They're going to come away onto their diagonal. So I'm going to breathe in, they come up to the ceiling. Now I'm going to use that lower body feeling, that pubic bone scooping up and over, to take my legs to this parallel place where they're parallel to the floor. They could stay there, they could tap down if you wanted to. They separate shoulder distance apart and you roll smoothly down again through the spine. That is the roll over. Please only give it a try if you feel it's appropriate for your body today. Please don't use momentum to try and get your legs over your head. Yeah, nice and smooth and slow and controlled. And if it's not the one for you, repeat the previous 2 versions of the exercise. That's how we all start. So, the imprint, if you are with me, tabletop legs, legs up, hands and head and shoulders all stay down to the floor. Lower the legs away. You're going to breathe in and raise them to 90 degrees. You're going to breathe out, send your toes over your nose and keep them travelling until you're looking somewhere around your knees. You can tap the toes if that's comfortable. You can separate the legs shoulder distance apart and roll it down. If it's giving you any strain through the neck, it's not the one for you today. Switch back to the previous exercise. You've got one more. Breathe it in. Curving up and over. Lower body leading that curve. Tapping is optional. Coming back. You could try a flex foot on the way down if you wanted to. Smoothly rolling through the spine. And then we're going to release back to the floor. We're going to gently bring ourselves up into a seated position. Sitting comfy, let's have a nice side bend. Let's take it up and over. And reach away. Same on the other side. Breathe it in. One more either way. And we're going to slide the hands forward. Just drop the gaze, drop the chin slightly. Curve the upper back, the middle back, and touch up the lower back. Wide breath into the backs of the lungs. Smoothly unroll. Bringing yourself around. Gently unrolling through the spine, pressing the heels down. Unroll the shoulders as you go. Find your favourite dance pose. And we are done there. Thank you very much.